Why settle for less when you can see more with Flow? With Flow's digital video service, you get more channels, more customizable video packages, more flexibility with your personal video recorder. Pause, rewind, and record your favorite shows. In other words, we give you more so you can really enjoy the bigger picture.
Flow, watch, talk, click.
This is CC6 Newsnight Week in Review for May 20th to May 23rd, 2013. It was the week in which the long-awaited Feeder Roads project was relaunched. NAWASA completes water supply master plan for the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, and health officials advise that they are taking the new strain of bird flu very seriously. In sports, new champions crowned in Wagiti basketball competition. Details when we return.
I am Granny James, and Quad Bank is my bank.
If prosperity really matters to you, come home to Grenada Cooperative Bank. Since 1932, we have shared the same values: financial diligence, investing with prudence, transparent compliance, consistent performance.
Welcome home, Grenada.
No matter the economic climb, we always stand the test of time.
Welcome home, Grenada, the bank that goes the extra mile. Welcome home, Grenada, the bank that serves with a smile.
Welcome to a bank you can truly call your own. Grenada Cooperative Bank.
We care because you matter.
Welcome home.
It's a popular belief that all windows and doors are the same. But at St. Lou Metal, we know the difference. With true Grenadian craftsmanship and precision that gives the best quality and low guaranteed prices, you have a wide variety of windows and doors to choose from. Skylight windows, 2-half kitchen doors, aluminum doors with window inside and screen. We are the doors and windows people. St. Lou Metal, building number 19, Frequente Industrial Park. Call 439-6538.
Thanks for joining us. I am Samantha Williams. The long-awaited CCC road construction project finally got underway in the Big Parish on Tuesday afternoon, with the Prime Minister heading a list of officials who were on hand for the symbolic event.
A front-end loader was used for the official sword-turning ceremony on Tuesday that signaled the official launch of the Agriculture Feeder Roads project and the return of CCC in Grenada. The symbolic ceremony took place in Mamakan, St. Andrew, with ministers of government, CCC workers, and other officials in attendance. The multi-million-dollar program will see the start of work to repair and build a number of roads across the country. The road building projects are expected to employ hundreds of construction workers and provide much-needed boost to the local economy. Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell called the occasion a bittersweet one.
I don't think, colleagues, that we understand the seriousness of the impact of this project and the loss of it for the last 4 years. So as I sat there, I'm saying that I'm happy that we're starting this, but it also pains me for all the trauma, all the pain, all the hurt that has in fact occurred because of the lack of vision, the politics of spite and hate. And this is why I'm standing with mixed emotion, because a lot of good people have in fact suffered.
Brian Constantine, representative of the consultants, DWI, gave a brief overview of some of the roads that will be completed in the project.
The first road to be started will be here at Mamakan's. This road will be constructed down to the river, and from there a new concrete road will be constructed up to Munich, providing a continuous paved road from Munich to the Eastern Main Road. Also in St Andrews Parish, The Mount St John Road will be rebuilt. This is an important agricultural road which at the moment is only passable on foot due to a landslip. Also in St Andrews, the Windsor Road will be completed. Most of this road was built in phase 1, but it will be completed up to the St John's parish boundary at Bull Hill.
Minister of Works, Honourable Gregory Bowen, says the return of CCC illustrates the government's commitment to the construction industry.
This project demonstrates the government's commitment to work, particularly in the construction sector. You would have heard from the budget, and I'm sure the Minister of Finance may reiterate some of the points made to drive the construction sector. But from the Ministry of Work, we would also be looking towards additional projects to get this going. So yes, we have the Kuwait Fund. We'll be going to other financing institutions. You'll soon be seeing other projects on the way.
Mr. Jabara of Consolidated Contractors Company Limited says they are anxious to kick the project into full gear as work has already begun, and reiterates that hundreds of jobs will be created.
What we can assure you is that the project will be completed with the highest safety standards and regulations, with the highest specifications and international standards, and with it will be completed on time. CCC will be recruiting people and their staff from within the areas where we will be working. So what we invite those who seek employment to pass by our offices at Queen's Park and submit their applications.
Also addressing the official launch were parliamentary representatives for two St Andrew constituencies, Honourable Emlyn Pear and Honourable Yolan Bain Hosford, and Junior Minister of Works, Honourable Alvin Dabrio. Janelle Andrews, CC6 Newsnight.
A comprehensive document has been put together by NAWASA in an effort to develop a sustainable water supply for the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, and the company is seeking necessary funding before the plan can be implemented.
The National Water and Sewage Authority has completed a water supply master plan study that will see the provision of improved water supply to residents on the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Chief Engineer at NAWASA, Nigel Lowe, says the document looks at various ways and means that water can be made available for the next 20 years.
Basically, it is to look at possible sources, right? And basically, it has shown that there are possibilities for drilling wells in both Petit Martinique and Carriacou that can provide good quality water, adequate supply for a sustainable water supply for those two islands.
Mr. Lowe says the aim is to further develop the sustainability of the water supply for present and future demand.
We have looked at all possible options. Rainwater harvesting is what is happening now, right? And we also looked at how we can improve that. But we are also looking at a sustainable supply. There's no spring sources, no surface sources in these two islands. So it's either you're going to use salt water, which have to desalt, or we develop underground supply, which is basically the study has looked at all the aquifers and the availability of water and where we can drill exploratory boreholes to ensure that we can provide an adequate supply. So that's basically what it has looked at. So it's rainwater harvesting. You also look at desalt. It's a possibility that, you know, the existing system is a little bit brackish to have there now, right? Serving the town. So we also have plans to put in CC6 5Cs. We are looking at putting in a desal plant right now. That's basically to serve Hillsborough, which is to improve the existing slightly brackish water that we are providing to that area at this point in time.
He says they are hopeful of implementing the measures outlined in the master plan as soon as funding can be secured.
This will cost money, it has to be budgeted, the funds have to be identified and it has to be budgeted.
And how long it took to put a report together?
8 months. They have to touch the procurement procedure. They have contractors were are invited to bid, so we have to do the evaluation and all of that, select the appropriate contractor consultant to do the work, and it's funded by the CDB, so we're guided by the CDB procurement procedures.
The almost 200-page document took 8 months to compile data and information that were gathered over approximately 2 years. Blossom Alexis Welsh, CC6 Newsnight.
A new strain of influenza virus, commonly called the bird flu, that is causing a deadly outbreak among people in China should be taken seriously worldwide, and health officials in Grenada are ensuring all is in place in the event the deadly virus emerges in the region. The new strain of the bird flu called H7N9 is so far contained to the Asian continent. However, local health officials are not taking any chances and have initiated preparatory measures just in case the virus makes its way to the region. The latest subtype of the influenza virus has killed 36 people and infected more than 130 in China alone since its recorded outbreak in February, according to the World Health Organization, which has described the virus as one of the worst lethal flu viruses. Chief Veterinary Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Bowen Louison, in an interview with CC6 Newsnight on Monday, says the new strain is worrying considering the damage it has done and the actions that have to be taken to bring it under control.
What is particular about this one, it doesn't kill out animals as quickly, but it does affect human beings. And I want to reiterate, it is a brand new strain that has been seen for the first time. Let me also say that while this is going on, there is a new strain of bird flu in Mexico, which is the H7N3, that been killing out birds, but does not affect human beings. So there's all this confusion about these different viruses. And the biggest worry, of course, is that at some point, the scientists believe that there will be an exchange of genetic material between these viruses and become a pandemic. In other words, becomes a virus that is even more difficult to treat or to control globally.
The first birds were infected in 1996, while the disease spread to humans for the first time in Hong Kong a year later. And since then, there have been at least 4 different forms of the disease with varying impact on humans and poultry. Dr. Louison says they want to be proactive in dealing with the virus.
We work very closely with the medical fraternity and, of course, with the chief medical officer, and some statements has gone out already. We work in our national surveillance team, and we discuss the issues as to what measures need to be taken. To date, we have activated our team, our surveillance team, to sort of review what is happening globally. But obviously, the region is not yet affected, so we have not gone into full gear in terms of our alert. From the medical standpoint, persons will be screened in terms of asking questions as to respiratory problems and so forth, and places they have traveled. But persons are not going to be tested or such, so persons need not worry. From the animal side, we have no indication that the virus circulates in our region. There has been no deaths, nothing to raise our concern beyond just being precautionary in what we do and in the transport of live animals within our region and from outside of the region.
Tens of millions of birds have been killed to stop the spread, and the chief veterinary officer advises that farmers should be vigilant to ensure Grenada's poultry market and bird population do not suffer the same fate.
There's quite some deaths in China, but it has affected the poultry production. As a matter of fact, they are stating that in China, poultry consumption dropped by about 50% because of concerns. We're not at that level. There's literally no indication that all industry is going to suffer the same under the current circumstances. But of course, we want farmers to be vigilant. We want them to report any sick animals, sick birds, and so forth, anything strange they see happening, so that in case there is some form of outbreak, we could take the necessary precautionary measures.
The disease is expected to continue mutating within birds, and experts have warned that the highly contagious disease is the world's biggest pandemic threat and could kill between 5 million to 150 million people. The infection can lead to severe pneumonia, blood poisoning, respiratory problems, and organ failure. Sherry and Noel, CC6 Newsnight. When we return, Foreign Affairs Minister announces that 2 MOU have been signed with potential investors.
Only one dishwashing liquid can do the job. Quicks is the expert in taking out the toughest grease easily. You know you can trust it. Quicks cuts grease better. Full stop.
Digicel makes you smile.
SMS, free international and local, free magic number calls, extra credit when you top up 10 or more, and get rewarded for your top up. This gives you more to keep you smiling. Get free SMS when you top up with $10. Magic number calls when you top up with $15. Free international once you top up with $20. Free local calls to all digital number. Extra credit for $30 or more. You get more. 10% bonus credit to do anything you want. Digital makes you smile. Digicel, the bigger, better network.
Welcome back. According to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Business, Honorable Nicholas Steele, a number of investors in London have shown interest in investing in Grenada, and to that end, memorandum of understandings have been signed between several London financiers and the government of Grenada.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Business, Honourable Nicholas Steele, visited London recently and reported in a post-cabinet briefing on Wednesday that investors have shown interest in exploring opportunities in Grenada. Interest has been shown in the hotel and real estate sector, he says, and in an effort to confirm their intentions, 2 memoranda of understanding have been signed. Mr. Steele gives some information about the MOU signed, but did not reveal who are the investors involved.
In the last 2 weeks, I have been to London to meet with debt advisors and 2 potential investors. We have basically signed agreements on a way forward with the investors.
The minister, however, gave an explanation for not revealing the identity of the prospective investors at this time.
The investors are, all I can say is that investors are hotel investors. They are looking at a hotel investment here in Grenada. Until, as far as I'm concerned, until the deal is signed, or until they come to make the public announcement, my part is to facilitate as much as possible with them and get them here as quickly as possible.
He says it will be premature to reveal who the investors are until they are ready to make the announcement or cement the MOU with financial commitment.
The long and short of it, I'm not about to say that we've done a deal with anybody until they have come up with the money. They have invested in Grenada. People saying that they have a desire to invest in Grenada and a particular property or properties, and they would like to know if there's a willingness from the government of Grenada to enter into a lease arrangement on those properties or so. That's fine. People come and do that quite often. When they come up with their part, then we're willing to say that we have an investor.
In the lead up to the 2013 general elections in February, the New National Party said there were numerous investors interested in projects in Grenada. Minister Steele was asked if these were the ones referred to.
All of the investors that we spoke about leading up to the elections are the same investors that we are speaking to now. You will have seen some of them here in Grenada. They may not have announced themselves here in Grenada, but they have been here. They have now gone back. In certain cases, we have to show that we have clean and clear title of the leases. In certain cases, they have to show that they have the funds. And in most cases, that has been done. And now they're coming back up with their plans. Here is they're going to come forward to us, I would say within the next week or 2, with this is their offer, this is the amount they're willing to offer, this is how the deal will unfold. And at that point, we would be prepared to sign on the dotted line.
Wayne Francis Wright, CC6 Newsnight.
Farmers and pet owners are being encouraged to look out for some symptoms of rabies virus in animals, as the incidence of the disease continue to be a major problem for people trying to keep it under control.
The National Vaccination Caravan of the Ministry of Agriculture is making its way across the island over the next few weeks as the officials deal with the prevalence of rabies among animals in Grenada. Coordinator of the program, Derek Thomas, says the occurrence of the virus has become a daily problem and cases are getting more difficult to deal with.
The last known rabies case in Grenada in human was in 1974, somewhere around there. But for the last known animal case was last week, a cat in Victoria. That cat bit 3 persons, right? So that 3 persons have to be treated. Yes. So the rabies is very common in Grenada. It's like a everyday thing. To treat rabies in Grenada is very expensive. It's about 5,000 euros per person. If anybody is exposed to the virus, it costs about 5,000 euros to treat them. To treat an animal is much cheaper. All it takes is just one vaccine, one injection, and you could vaccinate at least 24 hours after the animal has been exposed.
He says the aim is to vaccinate as much animals as possible.
What we are doing presently is we have started the annual vaccination program, right? But persons who have been affected or who have come into contact with suspected cases, we advise them to seek medical attention immediately. Also, if the animals have come into contact with a rabid mongoose or so, in fact, any mongoose that bite an animal is suspected of being rabies because mongoose are the natural carrier, right? They may not look sick, but once they bite the animal, you should take precautions. Make sure that the animal is vaccinated.
Some years ago, Mr. Thomas says efforts were made to eradicate the mongoose species in Grenada. However, that brought added problems.
In Grenada, we used to, the Ministry of Health used to poison mongoose, but that also affected other animals, other fauna, other wildlife. It affected other wildlife in the forests and destroyed a lot of like manacles and armadillos and things like that. So, but as to work on the mongoose itself, no, nothing has been done so far. I think it's in Puerto Rico. They are thinking about a bait that will sort of like make the female sort of like infertile, right? So that she wouldn't get pregnant. Yeah, she wouldn't reproduce.
The caravan began in St. Mark last week and is in St. John this week before making its way to St. Patrick next week and makes its way down the eastern side of the island to St. George during the 3rd week of June. Sherry Ann Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
Students of District 5 participated in the semi-final stage of the annual mental arithmetic competition at Norton Hall on Wednesday as the organizers endeavor to boost children's understanding in the subject.
Grade 6 students from 11 primary institutions in District 5 on Wednesday participated in the annual Pearson-sponsored annual mental arithmetic semi-finals at Norton's Hall in St. George's. President of District 5, Glenn Alexander, spoke with CC6 Newsnight about the importance of testing the mental ability of students in solving math problems.
In terms of doing mathematics, there are certain potential that you have to have and that is necessary to do mental, because you would remember from days gone by how we used to rattle off tables and so on. It doesn't really have any meaning to us just by repeating it over and over, and then when you get the opportunity to see a table in the middle, you at a loss. So mental, as the name suggests, mental quiz, it's a good way of assisting our students in terms of testing their ability.
Despite the fact that the competition comes after the sitting of the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment exam, Mr. Alexander says it is still timely as the students prepare to enter secondary school.
At the end of CPA, life continues and maths continues, and it's an opportunity to prepare them for the secondary to come, and also they will also have to do the end of term exam. So I think as an organization, we would like to have it prior to CPA, but we know that's open late, etc. Not making any excuses, but in future time we would look at that in terms of having it before the exam in itself.
Witnessing the mental ability of the grade 6 students was Curriculum Officer for Mathematics in the Ministry of Education, Lydon Richardson. He speaks of the relationship between Pearson and the ministry.
Mr. Alexander, who is representing Pearson, came to me and offered to sponsor competition, since that we've been using CPM, Caribbean Primary Mathematics, and that company is the one that publishes the primary mathematics book. So we have had a very good relationship in the past, and since 2 years ago the company is sponsoring the mental arithmetic quiz.
Mr. Richardson says from a ministerial perspective the competition is of significant importance.
Years ago that wasn't an issue in Grenada, issue of students' performance in mathematics. And certainly one of the factors that contributed to that was that mental arithmetic was one of the bigger areas in the classroom at that time, where you stand up in the classroom and teacher asks questions and you answer mentally. However, in recent times, mental arithmetic hasn't been part of the school agenda, and we are trying to bring it back because we believe that the more students are able to use the mental ability to answer questions, they will be able to do better in mathematics.
The final of the mental math quiz among all 7 districts is scheduled for June. Sherry and Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
Coming up in sports, football coach says there is a lack of development programs to boost the sport in Grenada.
Breeze removes stains in the first wash. The other detergents, not always. You have to wash it all again and use twice the amount. So, which one costs more? Do the math. Choose Breeze. Unbeatable stain removal.
Cool me down. Nothing can hard in my country. So I open a bakery. Hey, yes. Hey, in order that I should marry. When did you jump, soca? Friendliest people you'll ever meet. Wise man with black stone beside him.
Live on Community Channel 6 every Saturday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's Sound System Saturday.
Hello, I'm Chef Didier and welcome to Meals in a Minute, brought to you by the Baron Gourmet Collection.
Today, we join Chef Didier on a culinary trip to China for a delicious sweet and sour chicken stir-fry.
We start by simply branding a chicken breast in a hot pan with a little bit of oil. Add a little more oil to the pan and stir-fry your fresh vegetables until barely tender. Then add a jar of sweet and sour sauce from the Baron Gourmet Collection with some fresh noodles and toss it until nice and hot. And now you are ready to enjoy your sweet and sour stir fry.
We hope we can inspire your next meal in minutes with the Baron Gourmet Collection. Baron, we make food tasty.
Welcome back. Sisson's Sparklers are the newly crowned victors of the 3rd annual Wagyu Knockout Basketball Tournament following a keenly contested final face-off against newcomers to the competition, Donald Garage LA Lions.
The final was contested on Saturday and playing on their home ground at the Guave Hard Court in St. John. Sparklers edged past their opponents 79-76 to take home the title, much to the delight of the players and supporters. Captain for LA Lions, Sherlyn Avon, and player Marlon McLeod says they did not stick to their game plan going into the crucial match.
We kind of rushed the game in. We stayed to our game plan, and we were trying to move too fast, and we were making bad passes and we were losing the ball.
Well, the problem we had, we didn't train. And a lot of us, the time kill us because we had to walk and so on. So, you understand? So we didn't train. So next step is if we coming back next year as the same team, we had to work hard and come and play real hard.
LA Lions won $3,500 for finishing in 2nd place. Meanwhile, player for the winning team, Nidon Joseph, says they came out with one goal in mind: to win. Sparklers made it to the final of the first ever Wagyu Knockout Basketball Tournament in 2011, but were defeated into 2nd place, while they were knocked out in the semi-final round last year.
Sparklers is the hardest working team in Grenada, all right? We work on our game more than any other team. We could boast that, right. All right? And when you put in a kind of work, you don't have to worry about the result. You come and you let the result take care of yourself. Alright? Normally, whatever people say doesn't matter. When a bunch of guys come here, we come to do a job together, and that's what we want to do every time.
Together. No, normally, we play as a unit, and we play for ourselves. I mean, we got pants, it's true, but we play for ourselves, and we play sparklers basketball. We don't play any other basketball, we share the ball, and we work hard. We work very hard, and we're going to continue working hard.
In addition to winning the top prize of $8,500, Sparklers player Elmon Williams was named MVP of the entire tournament. The players praised their head coach Fitzgerald Naka Joseph for his dedication to basketball and his expertise to coaching in the sport. Saturday's final began with an exhibition game between two female teams as St. Mark's defeated Spice Island Classics 34-21. Player for the St. George's based team, Giselle McDonald, spoke to Sports on 6 after the game.
We just came out here to just play and just represent our team, but as I said before that, we didn't have a steady game plan. And one of our grave mistakes we made was we underestimated the other team. But going forward, you know, we have to put in more practice time and definitely look at our weaknesses, take more shots and drive more and try to pull more of the fouls so we can go to the free throw line and score more points.
Shania John of Winner St. Mark believes, however, the team could have done better.
For me, I think I didn't perform at my best. I know I can do better. Yeah.
And what about the team overall performance?
Yeah, we could do better. We missed a lot of shots and stuff. Yeah, we could do better because we played better than that already.
Tournament organizer Wayne Waggerty Redhead says he is hoping to bring back the competition in 2014 bigger and better as he continues.
The lack of football competition is killing the development of Grenada's football, says senior football official and coach of Guave Football Club, Marlon Glean.
Mr. Glean was speaking with Sports on 6 at its Dusty Highway compound, Grandin, St. George on Tuesday.
I believe that the level is not as great as it should be. I've seen much better football coming out of Grenada in the past. Some of the observations that were made by Freddie and Tron while they were here and while they were working with the guys yesterday, they've seen a lot of potential. But I think what we need to do now is to convert that potential into real talent. And once we can get those guys playing at another level, then there'll be more opportunities for them.
He says there are several things causing the downfall of Grenada's football.
I think our biggest problem is that we haven't had any youth programs in Grenada probably for the last 20 years. So we have a regular kid who's probably 9 years old. And he would probably go to one of those coaching schools on a Saturday and train every Saturday, but he would never play in a competition. An average 13, 14-year-old should be playing at least 20, 30 matches a year. These guys are playing probably 6 matches a year. So it's difficult to improve when you're not playing sufficient football. In a year, probably every week, a young kid should be playing in a proper organized match. And that's the biggest problem we have in Grenada. We do not have competitions for young players. Outside of that, if you start getting competition, then you will start seeing kids trying to improve because they have to compete the next game. So they'll be thinking about where they went wrong and we're trying to incorporate it into the next game. This is what's lacking.
Young footballers should be given the opportunity to develop and assess themselves through competitions, and this can only be done and achieved through the nation's football leaders.
That's all we have for you in Sports on 6. We recap the headlines next. Recapping the headlines, it was the week in which the long-awaited Agriculture Feeder Roads project was relaunched. NAWASA completes water supply master plan study for the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. And health officials advise that they are taking the new strain of bird flu very seriously. In sports, Sisson's Sparklers were crowned the new champions in Waggerty basketball competition. That brings us to the end of CC6 Newsnight Week in Review for May 20th to May 23rd, 2013. Top stories from CC6 Newsnight can also be seen on our Facebook page, Flow Community Channel 6. On behalf of the news team, I'm Samantha Williams, thanking you for joining us.